NASCAR just got rocked. Cletus McFarland, a YouTube star, broke into the sport and left top teams furious. One wild event has everyone asking if racing will ever be the same. So how did this happen? Let's break it down. The New England 900 brought short-track racing back to life, and now talk of Ram trucks returning has put Cletus right in the middle of it all. This isn't just hype. It's the story of how one man's wild style may have changed the future of racing. On the 18th of July 2025, Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut turned into a show NASCAR couldn't ignore. The New England 900 wasn't a normal short-track race. Instead of shiny race cars and perfect laps, Cletus brought out old Crown Victoria police cars. Some had nitrous, some blasted train horns, and they slid through the corners like nothing fans had seen before. It was wild, messy, and exciting. Fans didn't just watch a race, they felt part of a show. The track was full of smoke, noise, and big moments. Cars slammed doors, sparks flew, and the crowd went crazy. Tickets sold out, streams blew up, and people who never watched short-track racing before were hooked. In one weekend, Cletus made fans care again. That night, the message was clear. Racing didn't need to be polished. It just needed to be alive. Now here's why it mattered. NASCAR has been searching for ways to grab new fans. They've tried dirt races, road courses, and even city street events. And while those ideas worked here and there, none had the raw pull that Cletus showed at Stafford. Because here's the thing, he didn't need NASCAR's help. He filled a track himself, he built his own audience, and they showed up in person. That scared some people inside the sport. If one YouTuber could pull bigger, louder crowds than sanctioned races, what does that say about the system? It forced a new question. Do fans really care more about personalities and chaos than just lap charts? The Stafford crowd shouted the answer, yes! It was proof that fun, energy, and storytelling are just as powerful as horsepower. And that's a truth NASCAR can't ignore. And then came the real shock. Just weeks later, reports broke that Ram Trucks, gone from NASCAR's Truck Series for more than a decade, was planning a comeback in 2026. And guess whose name was tied to the rumor mill? Cletus McFarland. Think about that. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota have had the Truck Series locked down for years. Ram rejoining the mix would already be huge, but doing it alongside the internet's wildest racing personality? That's not just news. That's a storm. Even Ram's CEO, Tim Kuniskis, got dragged into the buzz. And just like that, fans weren't debating cut points or playoff brackets. They were asking one thing. Will Cletus really drive a Ram truck in NASCAR? Does this mean Cletus is about to run 25 grueling races in the Truck Series? Not so fast. The truck schedule runs February to November. That's non-stop travel, practice, qualifying, and preparation. For someone juggling YouTube uploads, big events like the Freedom 500, and running the Freedom Factory, a full season would be nearly impossible. But here's the kicker. He doesn't need to go full-time. Even part-time starts, or just official partnerships, would set the sport on fire. Picture Cletus at Daytona, behind the wheel of a Ram, cameras rolling as millions of fans watch the chaos unfold online. That's not a dream, that's marketing gold. The reality is, his power isn't just behind the wheel, it's in the story. Every clip, every behind-the-scenes laugh, every crazy pit moment becomes content that keeps fans connected. And that's something traditional racing still struggles to capture. But here's the twist. Not everyone is clapping. In fact, some NASCAR teams are downright furious. Think about it. Drivers spend years grinding in ARCA, trucks, Xfinity, begging for sponsors, chasing small breaks, building their names the hard way. Then Cletus walks in with memes, Crown Vics, and millions of fans, and suddenly he's in the same conversation as them. For old-school racers, that feels like breaking the code. But for fans, it feels like a breath of fresh air. And that's the divide. What feels unfair in the garage feels electric in the grandstands. So, here's the question. Is this a circus, or is this the future of NASCAR? Some longtime fans roll their eyes. They say, this isn't WWE, this is racing. They fear the sport will become more show than substance. But others see it differently. They point out that NASCAR has always thrived on stories and emotion. Dale Earnhardt built rivalries, Rusty Wallace gave fans drama. The best moments weren't just photo finishes, they were fights, feuds, and bold moves. Cletus taps into that tradition. His nights aren't clean and corporate. They're wild, unpredictable, and full of feeling. And whether fans love him or hate him, they're paying attention. That's the real question NASCAR faces. Do you lean into that chaos, or do you try to pull things back to the old guard? Make no mistake, this is a gamble. If Cletus runs trucks and struggles, critics will replay every crash. If fans lose interest, the chatter dies. If his YouTube empire pulls him away, it looks like a stunt. But if it works, the upside is massive. NASCAR gets new eyes. Ram launches with style. Sponsors see their brands living in viral clips for months instead of disappearing after one race weekend. That's why people inside the sport are calling this the biggest risk in a decade. It's not just about Cletus McFarland, it's about what NASCAR wants to be next. Thank you for watching. And the fans, they're split right down the middle. Some are pumped while others aren't buying it. To them, it feels like turning NASCAR into a circus. But here's the truth. Everyone's talking about it. And that's something NASCAR hasn't had in years. Whether you love him or hate him, you're watching. And that's power. So, what comes next? Here's what we know. Ram is officially coming back to the Truck Series in 2026. Whether Cletus is in the driver's seat, the promo seat, or just the hype man, his name is attached to the story. Teams are watching closely. Sponsors are circling. Fans are waiting to see if the Stafford madness can work on national television. And NASCAR? They've already been forced to answer a question they didn't expect. Is racing about tradition, or is it about evolution? Either way, the decision to bring Cletus into the fold has already broken the system. So here's where we land. Cletus McFarland didn't just throw a crazy party with the New England 900. He pulled Ram back into the NASCAR conversation. He forced teams to face a new kind of competition. And he made fans argue about the future of the sport. He's done what no one else has in years. He made the sport feel alive again. So now I'll leave you with this. Is Cletus McFarland saving the sport, or is he turning it into a circus? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you think NASCAR needs more chaos, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next big shakeup. Because one thing's for sure, this ride is just getting started.